Hey Booze, welcome to WAPS. Yeah, this is not our typical podcast for everybody. So if you have little ears listening, you might want to put some earbuds in or wait until after you drop them off to school or have your own personal time to listen to us.
Yeah, I mean, the words,
Yeah.
the choices,
Yeah, we're
probably not appropriate.
I'm very explicit. I'm intelligent though because I use cuss words a lot.
Great instant stress relievers too.
Yes.
Proven fact.
We're WAPS, and WAPS stands for Witches and Paranormal Shit. Look, guys, we did this like a week ago, and I have like a prompt thing in front of me. And going back and thinking about how that went, it didn't go very well, for real. Like, let's be honest. Because we were sitting there and I'm like reading a prompt. Yeah, and like my brother over here, because I'm just gonna call him brother because I will forget his name.
I'm brother.
He is brother, but
y'all.
because we are from the Bible Belt, so
Right.
y'all. But the prompt was just horrible. Is yeah, but like you could tell that I read it.
Yeah.
And that's not how we want to be. We want to be like, hey, this is like real life shit that we're talking about every day. Because WAPS, of course stands for witches and paranormal shit. But we're not just going to be talking about paranormal shit and witches shit. We're going to talk about everyday life. Yeah, kids. If you want to fucking talk about your kids, we call them like our little boos here, or demons, because sometimes they act like demons. Yes. Well, we're wondering if we have a special demon right now, but we'll get back to that later. So me and my brother are like modern day witches. We practice differently. So brother practices one way, and it's not the way that I practice because he's more in his rituals and going out and doing his thing, which he wishes he could do more of. But I'm more of like a hippie free flow kind of witch. It just kind of comes and goes, and I do what I want. I don't necessarily leave offerings to what I do or anything like that. I feel like my part in the witch is more of a caretaker, a kitchen. I don't know. What else would you say? Yeah, it's not a big part of mine. Mine's more of, just like cooking and I don't know, being that person that people come and talk to about certain things, like the elder, or as people say, the supreme, but we're not going to talk about that for another episode, because I am a very white witch, is what I've been told. He is a very dark witch. This is why.
I say gray.
He's dark. He might be purple, like a dark purple. Can we do a dark purple?
Purple witch.
You're a dark purple witch. How about that?
A dark purple.
Like you have some good tendencies in there, but people think that they're bad. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't necessarily believe in that, as you can tell. I'm more of what you put in the universe. If I say it out loud or if I think it, I feel like something will happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm more of a free flow. Okay, this is what's going to happen, or this is what I want to happen. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But karma is always there, whether it be 3, 8,000 fold. You know what I'm saying? This is true. We might be karma to other people. We might be. But getting off of that topic, because we don't want y'all to know so much about our craft, because that is something for another day. No, we're not going to give it all away. We can't give you. No, exactly. It's like a coven, but there's only 2 people right now. Well, when our other friend has time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention her name right now because, you know, we still love you though. I'm not going to, I don't want to throw your name out there, so. Yeah, kind of. One's more of like a Christian witchling, I would say. I have no idea what the other one is. She's just all over the freaking place. All over the place. And your kids are maybe. Maybe. That's really weird. Valak. Like Valkyrie? No. Just like Valak. Okay.
Like,
hey, you got something right here. It's been bothering me since I've been looking at you while we're doing the podcast. I was like, yeah, it's gone. Y'all we'll have bloopers later, by the way. So just to let y'all know, I feel like this is going so much better than last time.
Yeah.
So we told you a little bit about our form of little witchcraft or what we call craft. I don't necessarily call it witchcraft. I call it my craft. He might call it witchcraft. Well, we're not like dancing naked underneath the moonlight together.
Nobody wants to see this.
Well, I think even though, like, even if it was like shorts and your top was off, like for a man, I think that would still be a thing because you're getting most of your. Yeah, and like for a woman, like if they were like in a bikini, you're kind of, you're a little bit there. But, that's my thinking. But, we're actually stepping out of our comfort zone talking about this because, we're from the Bible Belt, Alabama. And a lot of people around here do not like that there's still witches around. Yeah, except my grandmother. My grandmother's a little bit. She's like, you've always been a witch. Like, I don't know. I don't know if she's really playing with me and she thinks that this is like totally a joke. But she's always been. I would say that she's always been supportive of the weird stuff. Like, I remember growing up and loving Halloween because she didn't have Halloween. She's from England, by the way, because y'all don't know this. But my grandmother's from England, and at her era of time, they didn't really do a lot for Halloween, or they didn't have Halloween, something like that. So I have no idea. I've never asked her. So that would be a good question for me to ask her later. Yeah. But there was a lot of kids. Because it was like back in the times where you you bought. You had a lot of kids. Now I sound like a real gypsy. Oh, God. Okay, so, like, they would have a lot of kids and things would be passed down. And I remember my grandmother always talking about how they would have to do baths in the same water. You know what I'm saying? So it was those times. Yes. So because like she was, you know, there, our schools here in the United States versus the schools over there in the UK are totally different because you reach a certain point as we go to 12th grade here, and then we go up to the college or university. There is like at a certain age. It's not like I think it's a grade level, but it's a certain age grade level. You know what I'm saying? So over there is more like at a certain age they can continue, but it's a lot earlier than what we are. They can continue to do their education or they can go off and work. And because my grandmother, her mother had so many children, my great grandmother had so many children, she decided to go work. So that's what she did instead of going to like a uni, is what they call it. They don't call it college there, they call it unis. Yeah, short for university. Definitely short for university. But going back to what we were saying, we're really stepping out of our comfort zone just because people judge us. They judge us like my brother is gay. We're gonna go ahead and put that out there. You're gay. He's happily married. And we love our gay folks. I have lots of friends that are gay. I mean, yeah. But like a lot of stuff is not approved here. So, yeah. But so that's not why we're like using our real names right now. Because I'm gonna be Gypsy Witch, and you'll hear me call him Bro because I will definitely forget his name. I know his name, but like it just like bring fart, so I'll be like Bro, you know. So he has his own name, which he will tell you. Um, see that's I can't. I see I can't do that. You know, my kid's middle name, Lux, is the measurement of light.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even.
Yeah, it's the measurement. Nobody knows, but because usually it's LUX or LUXE.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, I don't know if any of our listeners know or have any theaters that are near them. They have like Premier Lux. Does that make sense now? Yeah. Like you're watching a movie, it's the light and it hits the projection screen. So, yeah, but. Right.
They were ever.
You don't know their name.
Right.
So, right. Lux, I didn't really name her after the measurement of light. I found that out after. Um, I named her that was what the meaning was. But I actually named her. There's a book and a movie, and it's called Virgin Suicides. It sounds horrible.
I mean, yeah.
It sounds horrible,
Yeah.
okay? But let me tell you, who's all in there real quick. I think, yeah, Kristen Dunst is in there. I know you probably don't know most of these people. Kristen Dunst, Josh Hartnett, there's like Jake Hill Conley, well, I think that's who he played. Yeah, Jake Hill Conley. That was Hayden Christian, and I don't know. Leslie Hayman, AJ Cook, Hannah Hall. Anyway, these were people that played in this movie, and it was a movie that I saw when I was younger, and I actually bounced between the names Cecilia and Lux.
Oh.
So either way,
Yeah.
there was going to be a name from there, which my ex would probably disagree with me, but those were on my list. So, um, another thing that we wanted to talk about too is another reason that we don't want to use our names and stuff like that is because our children.
Yeah, because, like, as far as that goes, I've told my oldest multiple times, I'm like,
Most definitely. I don't do a lot of the things that he does. I'm more of, an output person in the world. Um, but, I don't want to think that, like, oh, because people still think, like, back in old times, like, I don't think that they're like, oh, let's go hang them or stone them or drown them or burn them or whatever, like our ancestors were. There are some
Are out
sick
there like that.
freaking psychos out there, especially. But we're the bad people. But we don't force anything on our children. We don't force anything on anybody else. Like, my brother's youngest daughter actually loves going to church. It is a Christian church, and he allows her to go. So I mean, it's just like a different thing for us. We don't push our children to do things. We want them to find out what they want to do, which is important with anything. Right, right, right. We are the cookie. We're not the cookie cutter. Yeah, because we make our own mold. We shape who we are. Our parents tried to shape us into something. I think it's better now how um, I would say our generation is shaping things, but there is some crybaby parents out there. Let's just put that out there. They are.
I mean, yeah.
They are. They're out there.
On all.
Yes, on all sides. But we just want everybody to know too that we are a big supporter of anybody that's in. How do you say it? How did you say it that I said it that one time?
Um,
LGBT. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what we use for it. We're big supporters of them, and I'm sorry that I did not get all the letters right because I'm dyslexic, and I don't want to offend anybody. Um, but we're there for you guys. We're there for the weirdos, because there is weirdos. There's nerds out there. There are definitely gothic kids. I don't even know if there's any scene kids out there anymore. Well, I like The Cure too, but I'm not a goth kid. I don't know about that. The goth people were the ones that stained the glass windows in the church. I'm just saying. By the way, there's a story behind that because I got kicked out of a, a doctor's office when I was about 12, 13 years old for telling him that. And he didn't like that I said that because I was dressing in all black and he tried to call me goth. And I was like, actually, the goth people made the stained glass windows in the churches. And he didn't like that very much. So, got kicked out of the doctor's office because I was a smart ass.
At least you weren't a dumb one.
Exactly. It's better to be a smart ass than a dumbass.
Always.
But we support a lot of people. It doesn't matter what you are. We will support you on all walks of life. Even if you're Christian and you're listening to us, you can have your faith as long as you're not shoving it down our throats, and we're cool with you. We get it. We understand. Everybody has to have their own thing. Patronizing people and just being a hypocrite. Yeah, because you're not being Christ-like if you're being a hypocrite. Oh, most definitely. And I think there would be a lot more people that would not be agnostic or atheist because they know a little bit about the Bible and how Christian people are supposed to say. No offense to our Christian fans out there or anything. Like, we love you. But we're just having... These are topics that we are going... Really... Yeah. I mean,
not singling anybody out.
Yeah, we're not singling anybody out. These are actually topics that we will be talking about in our podcast. Like I said, it won't just be about witchcraft. It won't be about... We're going to talk about so many religions. We're going to get into Hinduism if we can, Yeah, Hinduism.
It's interesting what I know about it.
Especially the whole thing with Buddha and stuff like that. I know Buddhism. That... Yeah, Buddhism. All that kind of stuff. So, just know that, we still love you. We support you in every single way. Oh, yeah. Well, I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah. I do. But you now know, we said this earlier, that we're brother and sister. We did come from very different houses, like we said earlier. Like, my grandmother raised me, and like your mom and your grandmother kind of raised you, right? Or was it
my stepdad?
He was present, but wasn't present. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so I mean, I was raised by a whole bunch of different people, because I didn't have the best home life, apparently. So, there's foster care, and I was in a group home, and my grandparents raised me, my grand aunt raised me, my uncle and my aunt at the time raised me, my mom tried to raise me. Things didn't always work out how it was supposed to be, but here we are now.
Right.
And we didn't know about each other, so that's fun. Yes.
But my whole family...
And everybody knew about me, pretty much.
I'm pretty sure that they did.
They knew about me, but I had no idea. So it's kind of weird that when I was about, when did you reach out to me? In your 20s, maybe? 20? 19?
Maybe.
I think
19 to 20, around
yeah,
that age.
so I'm 1 year older than you. So anywhere from that 20 to 23 age range for me. I want to say it was right before like my 21st birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say you were about 20. Yeah, but I came and saw you in
around 2021.
that's actually how I met my brother. We had talked.
Yeah.
We had talked on Facebook because he had messaged me on Facebook saying that hey, I think you're my sister. So I up and told him one day that I was going to surprise him. I was going to hair school then. And I was like, I'm going to surprise you and, just come by, where you work one day and I guess catch you off guard. And I think I told you when I was coming, but I don't think
Seems like it.
I don't think that you really thought that I would show up. And when I did, it caught him completely off guard. He was in total shock.
You're here.
It,
Okay.
it was pretty funny. But I'm 33. I'm a year older than him. He's 32. Like we said, we have children. We have 2 girls that live in this house, and no, I have 2 girls. You have a girl and a boy.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 3 girls in this house and 1 little male boy. We do live together. Like we said, we practice differently. Um, you know, pretty much what all I had on here, we kind of went through, but I think it had a lot to do with Dad, actually. Yes, so, my brother doesn't really know a lot about our dad.
I know enough.
He knows enough. We're not going to get into our dad because he's not a very good person. Yes, great, great, great. I'm sure you're. Never mind. I'm sure that they're like cussing us out right now in their head if they listen to this. My mom might, but who knows? My husband's shaking his head no over there. But Dad actually, he was into like D&D. He was into dragons, which it surprises me with Joey. He has that little dragon little thing.
I mean,
well, Dad would wear the freaking dad t-shirts, the old school ones that would like button up and they were like short sleeve and they would have like dragons on them.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know the old school dad t-shirts. I mean, some people still wear them, but I would prefer them to wear like a polo or something instead of, yeah, like Dad was into stuff like that. And really, when I was growing up, I was Dad's little girl. So being Daddy's little girl, and our dad was in and out of jail. We'll just put that out there. He was in and out of jail. I had a hard time processing it and dealing with it. And my mother, I don't believe she told me for a very long time until I tried to threaten to pack up and leave one day. I think I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old. Kind of just did, I'm going to throw this in and I'm going to walk down the street kind of thing. Every kid goes through that. Well, like I had that missing figure And I know I keep on like moving back and forth.
Yeah, I'm just trying to adjust it and see if I can keep
It's
it
just because
more
like I
decent.
move. I move when I talk. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think that was different from the paranormal. The paranormal started when I was 5. So it was like more of the premonitions, like the dreams that I would have. Um, like I had a dream of my great grandfather. I think that is correct. Yeah, because it was my grandmother's dad. Um, and he was coming out of a wall, and he was like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember the face and seeing him. And then later on, we're going through a family album, because at that time that was like a
photo album.
yeah, it was a big thing for people back in the 70s and 80s to have family albums. And there was a picture of my great grandfather, and I asked them who is this? And that's when I explained to them, hey, this was a person that was in my dream. So to me, that's a little bit in the paranormal realm. Just yeah,
a whole lot.
That's a whole different story. And then on top of that, there was like I think it gets in the craft a little bit. I think because I would have visions, like almost like deja vu. I would have that a lot. Um, right. Right. So we had that, and let's see. There's a lot more, but the one that I can really tell you about is me and my best friend Elena. Um, Back when MySpace was really cool and popular, mirror selfies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I remember.
people do mirror scrying. If you don't know what that is, you need to look it up, or my brother can tell you, because he wants to get more involved into that. I just want a crystal ball, so if y'all feel free to give me a crystal ball, that'd be cool. Uh, we do accept gifts. We do accept money because we do need to put that back into this. It would help us a whole lot.
Make it better.
Yes.
And all that sort of thing. And
well, we're gonna have video at McRaven house. It is. It is. But the thing is about all this. Yeah, it's better than nothing. But the thing is, in the mirror was not just one thing. There were multiple little things that I would see in the mirror. Like one was like a little tiny ballerina.
That's interesting.
One looked like almost like, how ICP fans and people, like, they paint their face. So it looked like,
clown makeup.
yeah, so it looked like the clown makeup, but it had very sharp and pointy teeth, and it was smiling. Oh, most definitely. I think that was the thing that scared me. There was other things in there, but I just remember the ballerina in that one because I loved ballerinas when I was a kid. Like, I liked ballerinas and I liked Mario.
Yeah.
Totally two different things. But that's what I remember. And um right, and it was right behind my door. Right behind my door. Like the wall, door open, close, open, close. So my door would open or close to the mirror. So it was probably an open portal the whole entire time until the mirror. Until the mirror shattered. We took it down as we were taking it down because it was like it wasn't no, it wasn't one that had like a frame in it. It was one that was like kind of put up with little, not clips, but little, like you drill them in and it might have a plastic thing to hold it into place or whatever. So they took it out and I think it shattered when they took it out. So I think it closed because it doesn't feel weird in there anymore. I'm not scared because I used to be scared of my room. I used to be so scared. And we got the Ouija board out in my room one time, too. So there were many different things that I did as a child that wanted me to be in the paranormal. But I would always watch, like, the paranormal ghost shows, like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures before Project Fear. Shout out to Dakota and Chelsea and Tanner and Alex. We really want to meet you one day because y'all are freaking awesome. And we love y'all's personalities. Yeah, out of all the people, I think they are the best. I do love a lot of mediums. Like, I like Chip Coffee and I like Cindy Kaza and I can't think of her name right now, but I like her too. There's another girl that I really like, but I think I've heard of him before. Maybe. So I was reading the other day, actually, since you said something about sorcery, because he's a sorcerer.
Yeah.
I was actually reading a difference between witch, warlock, and sorcerer. Because there is differences between them. And I didn't actually realize that. I thought they all kind of basically did the same thing because we're kind of all in the same group, but we're not. Yeah. But yeah, that's how I got in like my paranormal stuff. And we would sit in graveyards. We were like 16, 17, and we would go sit in the graveyard at night. We, like, in the mausoleums. Because, you know, like, over near where Target is, and they have that, and it has that mausoleum that you can go into. It's open all the time. So we would, me, Elena, my friend David, we would go up there and we would just sit. We'd sit. They have comfy chairs in there. Did you know that?
No, I haven't.
Comfy little chairs in there. They're like almost like, you know, those Victorian kind of chairs that are like square right up here in the back. But they feel so good on your back. And they have like, I don't know, like 4 of them. They used to. Now, this is back when I was like 16, 17 years old. I'm 33 now. So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But we would do stuff like that. We did it so frequently that one year, for school, I told you this story, I think. It's home ec, but it's like family something too. And you get a fake baby. I took the fake baby to the graveyard with me. I took the fake baby to the mall and to the graveyard with me. We sat in the mausoleum.
Visit.
Yeah. So, we did stuff like that all the time. When my friend Kevin, my friend Kevin died. I think I was telling you about him, a while back when, you asked me about a band and who was in that certain band because it's a tattoo artist that's down here. That's really well known, but yeah. So Kevin's birthday, I think it's in like March. Cause I want to say I wore green that day, cause like it's like St. Patrick's or some near St. Patrick's or whatever. Anyway, we had a cake fight in the graveyard. We had a cake fight in the graveyard. We danced around in the graveyard. It was a whole bunch of like young adult teeny boppers played music for him.
Mm-hmm.
We lit cigarettes. People drank beer.
Like
Yeah, that's.
topic.
Well, let me put that in here real quick. By the way, guys, I do have a cellular device. I call them cellular devices. It is a cellular device, but people don't call them cellular devices much more anymore. No. So, I have a cellular device that I put our topics in. All right, remind me this topic I'm putting in.
Honoring the dead.
Honoring the dead. Oh,
Nice.
that can be so much because that can tie into, you know, the Mexican heritage and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, and especially New Orleans. That might tie in with the wakes too. Well, yeah, everybody thinks of it differently. Fucking have a party, dude. Party when I die. Like, I don't know how I would party because I don't really party anymore. You're like, I never really partied.
Really.
You were a nerd. Nerds don't party. They just have sips of alcohol here and there.
Pretty much.
And that's
Drink and chill.
Drink and chill. That should be like a new thing. Maybe we should make a game out of that. Drink and chill. I feel like I gotta sneeze. Like, you know, that burning sensation you get before. I'm like,
And then,
right. Well, I think it runs in our family too.
Yeah.
Like, it's a family spiritual thing that gets passed on. Clairvoyant? Yeah, because clairaudience is when you can hear things.
Right, clairvoyant.
Okay, so it'd be the other one then. Yeah. Then
I deserve my right to be wrong.
I have a little bit of that too sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I just know.
That
I
too.
don't know why I know. I think that's when it actually comes into past life remissions. Right.
She had not.
Did y'all have like weird superstitions about death too? I know we're going to go into that topic later on in a different podcast, but I was just wondering if you had any like weird superstitions about death because we did. Mine
because
too.
it's like,
Well,
and y'all were having.
think about Ed and Lorraine. It is because she was like a medium slash clairvoyant,
Yeah.
clairaudience, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think she did all of them. She could see it, she could hear them, all of it. Well, Matt does the same thing. He'll think that I've said something to him, and I'm like, no. Let's see. We are super scattered today. We had coffee, and we are like, wow.
That's what it is.
I think so. Yeah. Shout out to Seven Brew. These little pop up coffee shops now.
Mm-hmm.
They're popping up around here. I think they're popping up some in the north. So I bet y'all are wondering why we chose the word WAPS. Because we haven't talked about that yet. So my husband and I were driving down to the casino, which is actually where I'm going today. I hope so. Full time, yes. I'm gonna wash my hands with some salt again before I leave. I don't know if that's like a monthly thing, but I'm gonna try it. And I'm gonna take my jade with me and blow some more cinnamon in the house. I know you're supposed to do it at the first of the month, but it can never hurt to blow some more cinnamon in the house. I don't think, unless you have mint, because I don't have mint. We could go buy mint from like. Well, I'm not worried about how much it is. That's not an issue.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all are probably wondering why we just got into casino talk. That's why we just went off topic. But me and my husband were driving to the casino, and he was coming up with some names, and I was even like thinking about it because I'm sitting there playing music, and my playlist on my phone is completely randomized. You can ask my brother. Like, it goes from my favorite Stevie Nicks, which I love her so dearly. It'll go from Stevie Nicks, a lot of 70s music, to 80s music, to 90s music, to the 2000s, alternative rock. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of variety in there, and that means screamo and hardcore. So there is a lot in there. So we're playing off of WAPS because he came up with this, and it gets your attention. Yeah, like, yeah, we're kind of playing off of a song, but we changed the wording around. So, but it makes people laugh. I think it's gonna make people interested because people are gonna want to click on it and be like, "What is WAPS?" Because we're not gonna put what. Yeah, like this is not what we thought it was gonna be. So,
I thought it was a lesbian podcast.
Yes, this is a lesbian podcast. We would have to include Brittany for that one. She says, I think she said she wanted to be on here one day. We'll see.
She's had some.
Oh yeah,
conversation.
Most definitely. We just gotta catch her at a good time. Yeah, we're not talking about that because she is a lesbian, but we will never ever talk about that explicit stuff. No, now we will talk. When we're explicit, I mean I say fuck, shit, damn, all the cuss words. Yes. Or for mature audiences. What do you think? Mature audiences or explicit? Well, you could put mature and then plus sign and then a number. Because mature audiences for this, I mean, but whatever. 18's fine.
Yeah.
Unless they upped it to 21. I don't know about all that.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, we're playing off WAPS.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my husband came up with. We thought it was hilarious. So, and apparently other people think it's hilarious too.
They do.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about the paranormal because it's been very much in our hearts and in our soul. I feel like it's in our soul. Because I feel like when we're talking about the paranormal or we're investigating the paranormal, it kind of touches your soul a little bit. Because when you get like the children or the women, it kind of makes you, feel something in there. And it's a little heartfelt. I know you've done, I don't know if you would call them investigations where you used to live or whatever. But I've done, my little investigations at, South Pittsburgh Hospital and Octagon Hall. I've been there both twice. And we've even done the house that we live in right now. It was fun. It was very weird. We have some weird video. We can actually put that up one day. I think we could get that from my husband and put that up and show you what's. And look, the camera angle, I will absolutely put you like a picture of where I had that camera angle at, because there is no way. I am very short, guys. I am not technically 5'1", but they let me say I'm 5'1". So I'm not very tall. And my brother is on the other side of the bed, and it just looks like this like claw thing coming down on this video. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we'll have to upload it later and let y'all see it and see what y'all think about it, because I don't know how to feel about that. And that's the room that you stay in, not the room I stay in. Well, that's why I leave the TV on for Matt. It's not necessarily because, like, I'm scared. Because I can deal with it. I mean, I've been doing it my whole life, so, whatever. Yeah. It was like this morning when I woke up. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Ooh. This morning. And I was hungry. I was so hungry. I walked into the thing and I was like, I got cake in the fridge. So I went and ate the rest of the cake. And then I went right back to bed. I was like, oh man, I only have a little bit of Coke left. And it's kind of old, but I'm going to drink it anyway. And I'll open a new Coke in the morning because, guys, I run off of like Coke and coffee. I know that's so bad, but I run off of Coke and coffee. And Coca-Cola, not cocaine. Let's make sure that everybody knows that. I do not do cocaine. It's Coca-Cola. So, like, Coca-Cola, when I say Coke, I mean Coke. And I'm just saying this for you, Northerners, because I know that y'all say pop and cola or Coke when you really want. What the hell is that?
It was one of the dogs.
Okay. Well, whatever. But, Yeah, like I do Coca-Cola. So when I say Coca, I mean Coke. I mean the actual liquid brown substance that is a drink. Nothing that you snort up your nose. Not
What do they call
Pepsi.
it?
Booger sugar. Not Dr. Pepper. Not Mountain Dew. I am asking for a real Coke when I ask for a Coke. What is that noise? Are you sure that's a dog? That's what it sounds like. Yeah. Well, y'all, that's just Chewy. That's his dog. We have like 5 dogs in our house right now. So, we have to. I would say it's been pretty good right now because we do have 5 dogs and 2 are out right now, which are his, and they're never really out that much because brother works a lot and his husband works a lot. So with WAPS, because we're getting off subject again. um, as I said, we're not just going to talk about these 2 topics. We'll talk about everything. Uh, Life, problems, tarot, meditation, crystals, paranormal equipment, and anybody feel free to send us a Geo box. That would be great. We want one so bad because they sound so much better.
Right.
And they're very expensive. Maybe we should like set a GoFundMe for a Geo box. Maybe after we get enough listeners, we'll make enough to get a Geo box. Everyone that's came here so far and has helped us get to where we are right now, I want to give a huge, huge shout out to my husband because he put a lot of money into this for me and my brother to do this. So he actually believes in us, and he didn't have to do that. I could have done payments with my brother just like he's doing right now.
Yeah.
My husband gave a big chunk to the mics and the audio equipment that we have now. So four mics, 4 headphones. So yeah, we'll definitely be doing some guest things. We already have one person that's already asked to be a guest.
Yeah.
Which is your aunt. Hold on. Who else has asked? Well, I know that my husband and maybe John, which John is my husband's best friend, and he was also on the Travel Channel at Deep South Paranormal. So, if you guys look that up, his name is John Hodges. He's a really cool guy. He's one of the guys that I first met when I started investigating with my husband, because that's when I really started investigating, is when I met my husband and we started dating. But a huge shout out to him and John, because John got me into this stuff, and I'm really excited to see where we can go as far as doing this podcast and doing investigations and doing both at the same time, because if we can do both at the same time, that's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. So don't feel bad at all. Like, just give
Podcast
like a little
intro.
intro. So like we're going to the McRaven house in this month. I'm not gonna tell you when, because I'm not gonna tell you when we're gonna get released. Just because we have everyday lives too, and like my brother has a my brother has a Donnie Thornberry. So yes, so if y'all know what that is, if y'all don't know what that is, You should like go look that up. That was like a cartoon back in the day, and the Donnie was wild. So make sure you check that out. But we're two people right now doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Two people. So
That was Chewy.
and that was Chewy, yeah. So I do more of the social media stuff. So you will see me more on the social media. I'm the social media tech person. So I might be the one doing the lives on the Facebook. It might come from my camera. I'm not sure. I think, don't you have a 12? Okay.
Yeah.
He has a 12. I have a 13.
I
So
12.
yeah, I have Pro Max too. So I think my camera might be a little bit better than yours. But like I said, it just depends on the Wi-Fi. If we have Wi-Fi there.
Yeah.
If we don't have Wi-Fi there, then we're kind of screwed. But somebody can put a hotspot on.
That's true.
That's always something that we can do. I'm more of the social media tech. So we do have a Facebook, and it is facebook.com/WAPS podcast. Twitter is the same way. So it's going to be Twitter/WAPS podcast, or you can find us at WAPS podcast. I'm running these two. I am only one person. I'm always looking for any ideas, anything that I can do social media wise, anything media wise, anything that we can put out there, festivals, anything that will get us into something. We are always looking for something to do. Now, we will not be able to do everything because we have children in sports. Right. Unfortunately. But that's part of it.
Fortunately for them, though.
Yeah, fortunately for them, because we want them to grow up and be very productive people. Yes, yes,
stuff.
yes. And my brother is the sound tech person. Not only that, he's gonna go see one of our friends. I say one of our friends. Actually, I went to school with this girl, and she has a husband, and he does a lot of recordings and stuff for music. So I'm hoping that when my brother goes up there and he talks to him or whatever, that he'll learn a little bit more and understand. Oh well, I could do this with my mixer or whatever a little bit better, because my brother went to a great school, but this guy is self-taught, so that's what they live, they breathe, and they eat. They sleep with it. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So don't judge my brother, because if you do, we will have a problem. I'm just kidding, because I'm not the one to put you in a jar. It's okay. So, we've told you a lot about our podcast so far. A lot about ourselves, which we weren't really planning on doing, but we didn't tell everything, but we told a little bit, a lot, I don't know. But like I said, we are going to try to do a podcast at the McRaven house. We are going there, very soon. We will have, maybe a live session there with the Wi-Fi. I think I just told you that. We actually learned about this location because of Sam and Colby. So, shout out to Sam and Colby. We hope to meet you guys one day. Maybe do a collab thing. Chewy, be quiet. Chewy is named after Chewbacca.
He sounds like a Wookiee
sometimes. Sometimes he's just an old grumpy man. But I want to say thanks to them for putting out a new location, because, I've been to Old South Pittsburgh, like, the hospital, like, twice. And Octagon twice. So I've been everywhere just, like, twice. This is something new for me, and I'm super excited. And I'm excited that I can experience it with you, your husband, my husband, our friend John. Maybe our sister if she ends up really going. Well, we were going to have a festival thing, but
that fell through.
That fell through because, we're in the Bible Belt. And there are some conservative places around here. But we're it doesn't. It doesn't. Sense. It is very contradicting, and we're not going to say the name of the festival, and we're not going to say where it is because there's no bad blood between us. We're hoping in the near future, maybe working with them. But they're we never know. Hey, and if you guys are any people that are looking for somebody to do a festival, hey, we'll come to Georgia. We'll come to Mississippi. We'll come to Alabama. If it's not too far, Florida. I mean, if it's not too far, Tennessee. Kentucky's really not that far. It's like 6 hours, depending on where it is in Kentucky. Some of the southeastern states we could do. Now, do understand, it is just me and my brother, and we have to have notice.
Right, definitely.
Notice. Especially because my brother does work a full-time job. He does. I do not work. I do not work. I stay at home. That's why I'm a social media tech person. I stay at home. I watch the little demons. I take kids to soccer practice. I'm the whole everybody nurturing mom person sometimes. Sometimes I have to be like, but like I had to, like this morning.
Maybe like that lady on the movie.
But, yeah, if y'all have any festivals coming up, especially if you're a person that is planning one or if you know of one, we have problems because we have the word shit. Yes, I said shit in our name. That's what WAPS is. Witches and paranormal shit. We do not go by witches and paranormal shit. We go by WAPS. So, technically, yeah. Like our banner is going to be WAPS. It's not going to have witches and paranormal shit on it. Because we try to make it where people want to know about it and click on that link and see what it is instead of, whatever else. Dewey, I'm going to beat you. Not really. I would not hurt an animal. Please don't do that. But we would love to come out. We would love to meet y'all. Maybe take some pictures. I'm going to try to get, actually, I've been in the process of looking for us some shirts to be made. I do have a vinyl machine and I do have a sublimation machine with my heat press, so I can do some shirts. But, unless you really, really want one, you can send me a message. I'll send you a price. But we're not really going to do our merch stuff yet because I am only one person. Yeah, that's later on. When we're big. When we're huge. Not really. When we're about medium, I would think that's when we can go because we're very small right now. I think we've covered all that we needed to cover today. No, just this little like protection chant thing if we really want to do it. I'm kind of like right now because we've been doing this a long time. Right. I say we just like end it. We're signing off, booze. This has been Gypsy Witch, and see y'all.